Hello, everyone. Welcome back. As always, I am joined by Lost Without a Trace. I am joined by Scorched Ace 97. I am joined by Ari Cypress Everly. I'm joined by Greymane Gaming. And I'm joined by Morden56. And we have made it back to the base in Eastgate. And the players are trying to decide how much of their ill-gotten gains they are going to give to Cassidius so that he can learn more ill-gotten spells.
More ill-gotten gain.
All right, so just so everyone is aware, we have a decent amount of stuff that we don't. I'm not using. Or kind of offered to people, and didn't seem like too many people wanted. But let's see. And again, if anybody wants it, please grab it off the table. Take it. We don't use it if you want. But what we've got is a short leather hat with a soft black fur trim. We have a hat of vermin. We have a bronze medallion engraved with a dolphin. This one is a one-time use, giving a swimming speed for an hour. There's a brass medallion engraved with a minotaur head, which it's a one-time use, help to get out of a non-magical maze. There is a long, perfectly white quill. We have a magical quill. We have a small tattooing needle, which is a tattoo that allows you to cast Witch Bolt once. There is a copper amulet that allows you to basically, once a day, you're allowed to go for the middle road, basically out of game context. It allows you to skip rolling a d20 and just automatically get a 10. 10 plus whatever. Like the die roll is a 10. So 10 plus whatever.
Yeah, once per day, you can automatically take a 10.
Yeah.
That used to actually be a game rule at one point, believe it or not.
I think that, taking 10.
Yep.
And you're sure you don't want to crit fail.
Right.
I mean, yes.
There is a green feather token, which allows us to summon a tree once, which might not be bad to use kind of outside if we want to, but again, that's up to, it grows about 60 feet tall. There is this, and I will hold up a mysterious clockwork device. I don't know what it is. I was going to talk to our artificer friend, but more than likely it's just something to make a little bit of money off of. We have this. I will pull out the artificial hand from the captain.
We
put
don't
that on the
sell
table.
That.
I'm just saying this is our loot pool that nobody's using. So not necessarily saying we have to sell all of it. Just this is what's free for grabs, and if not, it goes back in the bag or stays here at the base. I pull out a box. This thing turns into a boat. Could be useful. I don't know how much
in the
waterways we're going to be using, but it's a boat.
I mean, one of the areas that we can potentially be going to right now is the swamp. So we might want to use it there, because I don't know about you. Moment, I don't really want to tread that much water.
Fair. So this will be useful, but I put it on the table. Again, I'm just laying this stuff out. We have a pair of clothing that mends itself. And we have this tankard and I'll set down the tankard that makes sure whoever drinks can never get drunk. So those are the current items that I have.
So
that
it's a
I don't
punishment
need.
Tankard?
Yes. I was thinking about challenging somebody to a contest, but if you get caught, then you get your ass kicked, and I can't quite.
Normally it ends
I can't
a little
quite
bit more
handle that
brutally.
myself.
Just a little bit more brutally, Cass, when someone catches that you have a tankard of punishment.
And I will continue, and I'll pull out the book and be like, "Oh, I didn't know that was in there," and I'll put that back in. I'll deal with that later.
And we have a book, never mind.
Yeah, and we have a book. No, that's going back in. There is a pipe of smoke monsters, which technically I just kind of want to hold on to because it sounds fun.
Sounds fun.
Okay, Cass, give that over to hear me now. You're not allowed to have fun things.
But it's not fire. It's just smoke. It's just smoke.
Uh-huh. And you were telling me before that the other thing was just a flare, and guess
It
what
was.
happened?
It was a flare. All it was a flare. Now the flare might have set something on fire. It was just a flare.
Uh-huh.
I'll hold it out to you. Very defeated.
Luther's gonna take the pipe from him.
He is visibly upset about this. All right, now that my fun thing's gone, does anybody else want any of this? Or is this stuff we can kind of... And I'll put the folding boat back in. Obviously, that's going to be helpful, but the rest of this, I mean, does anybody want keeps on any of this? Or are we good to maybe try to give it to Luther to sell in the next couple days?
I mean, one of the benefits to us trying to sell what one we make, in this case, that Twiggy makes, and these items, they may not be the best things, but they will at least give us an idea of what people are trying to buy while we are here, and also will bring more and more people over to the mat, rug, stall, whatever we set up, as a chance of finding more contacts.
And the other thing is, I mean, anything that does not sell here, we have a bag that goes back home. We can try to sell it there as well.
I mean, even if you're doing stuff for trades for your spells, if you're doing the spells from your bag, then we could, hey, this is worth X. Go pawn it yourself. And
yeah, you just gotta find someone who used to do my old job.
Yes.
Also, Ace, you would know that the Arcanology does allegedly, you have been told, have a vault where they do keep a lot of magic items. So it is possible that they probably wouldn't be paying fair market value for anything that they're throwing in the vault. But if you're like, look, get this, take this away from me. Just take this because I need spells. Pretty much anything you could probably get about half fair market value for, and it would just get chucked in the vault.
Okay, so that's also, I'll relay that. So that's also an option. Basically, if we can't give market value, we might be able to get about half market value, last case resort, just to get it off our hands because we don't need it.
Cass,
yes.
Write a letter to the Countess asking her how much she'd be willing to buy every one of these items for.
All right, I will.
I mean, that make it sound like you're trying to get a price that you're not actually giving it to her, and then we'll knock that up about 3 or 4 times and see what it sells for.
Yeah, and whatever you don't sell, you can get that much for.
Because magic's not my style. I don't really know how to sell these items. But if, talking to the Countess on the other end gives me a better idea, it'll make it so much easier.
I'd also like to remind everyone we just saved a little merchant from some other gnolls that were going out there. He did tell us her name second, but you didn't have a name for him at that time.
You're right.
Merchant O'Malley. I don't know what to call you, sir. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
But yeah, just mentioning him, like, if we ever see him again, he a definite you're solid. And he said he comes to off sometimes, so we keep an eye
out. While I'm about to write this letter, I'm actually going to flip out the map.
Okay.
Is the tower gone?
Ooh.
The marker that shows where the tower was still shows where the tower was. You see the area is like the area still looks the same on the map. Good night, Sadie. The area still looks the same on the map as far as like you can still see the Gnoll camp. You can still see that area.
So there's nothing on the map that gives away that we took out one of the pillars.
Correct.
Okay.
Network error. Okay. going back to good here.
Yay, we're good.
Yay.
Gotcha. So put a little X across that so we know that we're not looking for that one anymore.
Right on the map. It's very rude.
I mean, you don't write on maps to alter when something doesn't change. It needs to be changed.
I mean, to be fair, you're probably going to remember which infernal towers you've exploded.
I mean, I know I will.
Luther won't remember anything. Luther remembers nothing.
Oh dear, Luther. Excuse me.
All right.
So the name you were given for the merchant was Nigel Claiborne.
Nigel Claiborne. Okie dokie.
Nigel Claiborne. There we go. No, I can't lose that. Allegedly.
There you go.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Poor Ouroboros.
Alrighty. So, I guess that is the next thing we do after we do the, the Twiggy salads of summoning is, well, no, probably before that, because I'll probably start selling those things as soon as we can.
Sure.
We'll just wait for the letter to come back from the Countess. Let's hope she gets back to us quickly. How long do we think we're going to need? Also, Cass, let me know when you put the ward up, because I'm going to be checking that little tap every single night until the ward's up.
Actually, that is a good thing. I really doubt you'd be able to. Venwith, in your time as being part of the army and stuff, did you pick up any blacksmithing skills at all?
I can hammer a stake into the ground and pitch a tent.
Okay. Does anybody have any? Unfortunately, besides food, does anybody have any craftsmanship abilities? I really need. I need something that all of us can have. That's all basically identical. I need whether it be a pin, a wooden token. I know you can make food.
No,
I need something.
Twiggy has already given you a small pin. It looks just like one of her leaves. It's backed in like a cheap brass or something. She's literally marking her territory. They wanted to ban with like episode 1.
Oh, so we all have one. We all have like the same token. Never mind. So. I have the ability to magically protect areas now. You must have this on you, otherwise the spell will go off.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull another pin out. She's pin out, and I'm gonna go over to it and like pin it on her collars and like, no, setting things off for you.
So make sure you know this. I will try to also set up a password just in case, but I'd rather the password not be said in case of emergencies, because then I kind of have to go through and I might need to reset all the passwords, which will take days. Because it's going to take days.
What are these again that you were just handing us? I'm sorry, 3 people were talking to me at once.
Oh, they're just little badges, little buttons, little things. It looks like one of Twiggy's leaves, backed in really cheap metal, but just enough to have a stab through back and just so that she can pin it on your clothing. Huh?
And how many do you have?
I'm gonna say I have like a dozen of them because they are really cheap, stupid things that literally she probably melted a copper and stuck one of her leaves in it and then put it on it. Yeah.
And to whom are you handing them?
Well, I have everyone has one so far except you and Lyra doesn't understand if I come at her with a sharp thing right now. So.
So basically, she just stuck a pin into your clothing.
Oh, Rooney, come here, Rooney, come here. I just saw it like this has a collar by now. You have to put it on Rooney's collar. You may not be a very traditional day, but you're my Glade. Haha.
Thank you.
So also, we just keep coming out here to the house to the east end. Do we want to call it something else?
Can you say that again? You were a little.
Yeah, you need to do all of that again because you're breaking up pretty bad because we have no internet connection.
Right. So this big house we have at Eastgate. Do we still just want to call it the big house at Eastgate, or do we want to call it something else?
As long as it doesn't pertain to pickles, I will be happy.
I mean,
No.
we are running company, so I just assumed that the house was just going to be called the same.
We could call it the Verdant House.
What is your Twiggy? You seem like you are biting at the bit to say a name for the house.
I don't know. I could call it Verdant House. You could call it the Glade House. Whatever. You can't stop me. I'm going to plant vines all over the thing, and it's going to
What
be
about
covered
the
in
Glade?
ivy.
Because not only will it be, I mean, they've got Fountain View, which makes Fountain View 5. I mean, why not the Glades for the Verdant Company?
Okay. Yeah. Because going to cover it in ivy. Yep. Going to do it.
I don't know about that. Not sure if we want to
Too
cover the
late,
place.
Cass.
It won't be
Please
tangler vines.
please
Just ivy.
not around my room. Just leave the study alone.
Notes
Everything
to
else
self.
can be good, but just not the study. It can have a couple, like a plant, like a sunflower here and there. Just nothing that's gonna eat.
Briar roses all around the study. Got it.
Cass, we are one day going to fix you of that fear of plants.
He loves me. I know it.
I think he loves you because you heal him. The moment you don't, then he will be very, very scared and have to find a corner to hide in.
Probably.
Okay, so we have right now an empty letter.
I'm currently writing it. I apologize.
Fair enough. No worries. That's fine. I was just checking. So let's say we're going to do at least 3 days of downtime, which means everyone is healed to full. B, at some point tomorrow, in a common area of the house surrounded by everyone else, Adaya is going to basically fall over ill.
Yes.
Because she will have been up for 36 hours at that point.
And not realize I should be falling asleep. Also, there was some weird spot in there about, like, thinking I've been poisoned or something.
Yes. Yeah, don't worry. You'll still get to do that whole scene. Because it's a good scene. But what is everyone planning on doing with their downtime? We know that Morden is planning on doing some fencing. We know that Cassidius is planning on doing some spell writing, assuming that he has the opportunity.
So, just for everybody's awareness on the amount of money, if I sit there and I convert all of our silver, platinum, and gold into gold, we are at 2,317. Plus any that anybody has on their person. That's just what Luther's currently carrying, because I just wrote everything down from the Null fight and what we had before.
I really apologize. What was it again? I was not paying attention. I was finishing up.
2,317.
So that's literally, I will be 2003. I'm currently asking for more than we have.
Yes.
Gray, what did you have from the first one that we split?
Gray had like 40 or 50 gold on him because he gave most of it to me at one point when we went to go buy.
I am definitely not carrying anything.
I had 35
True.
gold, 250 silver, and 1250 copper. Thankfully, that's on the mounted Vanoeth because that reset on my sheet.
Okay, so say it one more time and I'll fix the other sheet. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do it. 1,250 copper, 250 silver, and 35 gold.
Okay, so yeah, we don't have nearly enough money.
We have enough to get you the tongue spell, but that's about it.
Yeah, that would definitely be an important spell.
Yeah, that one I think is the most important right now,
do
just
too.
so we have the ability to speak to anything we run into.
I do too.
Agreed.
So how much money do I need to give you to make that problem disappear?
So and I'll pull out the sheet of available goods, and I will say, if this pricing is correct, which I would hope it will be, it will cost me 800 for the spell scroll itself, along with about 150 gold worth of paper, paper, inks, and all that stuff to be able to add it to my spellbook itself.
So basically, you need 950
I need
gold.
950 gold for tongues.
Well, we also have this the sensor that I grabbed. I don't know if it's important, but
And I also have, so from the other the stuff that was not magical. I still need to go through the magical stuff and identify it, but the non-magical stuff we picked up. I have a scroll of calligraphy, which I'm assuming is just fancy lettering.
Yes.
There is there's a set of gold rings with bloodstones in them. I kind of would like to keep that, but if we need the money, we can sell it.
So Luther hands you 6,500 silvers and 300 more gold, and that's enough to cover everything for that one spell right now. And I will sell everything else to try and replace what you just used.
All right, I guess I will hand over the calligraphy, the gold rings, and then the wooden orb with the quartz in the azurite.
Yeah.
So I'll hand over my valuables that we got from that thing. I think Twiggy wanted to keep the tapestry.
Yeah, but I can give up the bird cage. You can have that. If I got a bird, I wouldn't keep it in the cage anyway.
That's fair.
Okay. So yeah. So
You cannot have my salt shaker. Mine. Mine.
All right. So Salt Shaker off the list. I'll put an X thread. I have all the items that we walked away with, so I'll be putting an X through the Salt Shaker and the tapestry, so that I know that those are not things trying to be sold.
And then I will. It's been a day, hasn't it?
Yes, we've had a long
It is a very long day.
So I will actually immediately. Yeah, I'll do it because I might as well. I won't be needing it for a bit. I'm going to use my Signet to and I'll use all 3 charges kind of right off the bat, and cast Identify on the gloves, the rapier, and the boots of Elven, or in the boots, just to.
Okay.
Because I know I'll figure out the thing, but that saves me the spell slots.
Okay.
And I'll just ping, ping, ping.
You get what you get.
So.
Because I already gave them to you.
Yep. Luther, I think this whole kit and caboodle is almost pre-made for you.
He starts kicking his shoes off already.
He will hand over the shoes. These shoes should be able to help you stay a lot quieter. I mean, to the point where you make no sounds no matter what you're moving across.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I know what these boots are. I think I know.
If you
They're
talk,
sneaky.
obviously that's different, but the foots, the steps are silent. These gloves, go ahead and you'll. Does it say
You should be able to train. You should need to.
Attunement is not required, so go ahead and just put these on.
Okay.
As you put them on, they turn invisible. So these, you'll be able to, well, pick locks a lot better. And kind of your hand movements are a little bit faster and a little bit harder to detect. And then lastly, this rapier. I don't have the card, so I can't actually read it out, but if you want to hold that, I don't know if it requires attunement or not. If it doesn't, then the magical effects happens.
You still don't have the... hold on a second. You should have had that one.
Yeah.
Let me fix it. Fixing. Oh, the rapier definitely requires attunement.
Okay, so once you attune to this, it will allow it. It is a sharper steel than you're used to, and has a little bit of a pizzazz flair with it that I believe you will be quite happy with.
Is it going to ruffle my feathers?
I think you can see it now.
In regards to the pin, I will have to actually take time to figure this out, as well as the potions. And a book apparently I have. I've got to figure those out. But other than that, that's what I've got. That's what we've got. So I am currently, you guys saw me tuck the letter in before this whole thing happened. So the letter has been sent.
So who wants the boots of false tracks?
And for those who don't remember what that is, tracks it up.
Boots of false tracks. While wearing the boots, you can choose to have them leave tracks behind of another kind of humanoid of your size.
So basically, you can pretend to be something else. In my opinion, we might as well sell it. That might be worth the point.
So add that to the list of things you can ask the accountant.
I will quickly write a second note. I'm not going to make a whole nother note, but I will quickly add one more note, DM, that says...
P.S.
And, yeah, P.S. And a boots of false
Boots of false tracks were on your original list.
Oh, that's right. I did hold on to that because I knew we were going to be getting rid of it. That's right.
Okay.
Cass assumed...
You were being psychic there.
Yeah. Cass would assume that we're going to replace the boots and nobody's going to want the false tracks one.
So make sure to trade me all the items that you're giving me so that I can put them on my character.
I do not have any in my inventory.
I
can drop them on you. I have a list.
There is one item in your inventory I guarantee that you have because you were very upset that you gave it to me.
Oh. Sure. I didn't think you were actually going to take it. It's in your inventory now.
Morden, if you look in letters to the Arcanology price gathering, all of the tags are on that letter. You should just be able to pull them 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. For the ones that have tags.
And from no loot, you should be able to drag.
Yeah.
In the items that you want, the Kraken and all that stuff.
Gotcha. All right.
Actually, I might be able to. All right, so we're going with tongues. We're not going with anything else, correct? At this point in time.
At the moment, tongues is all that we can really afford.
Okay. If we are planning on going to a watery area, there is another spell that allows us to breathe underwater if we think that is necessary. But once again, that's going to cost probably, looks like about 50 gold more than the other one. So that's going to cost an even 1,000. So again, I'm not saying we have to get all these. I'm just reminding you that they are options out there. Now, unfortunately, I have never really met one of your magical abilities, Twiggy, before you. So I am unsure of what you are able to accomplish with your baking, because already you have surprised me with what you are able to. So
I'm surprised you every time I talk.
That's fair. If any of these you are able to do, or you believe you'll be able to do, then maybe we hold off on getting the scroll until we know that, hey, you're able to pick it up, or you're able to cast it, or you aren't quite sure, and then maybe we get the scroll to go.
Maybe.
Another
we'll do the stuff for you first. So it's
okay. Gift of Tongues being in a Colomancer's recipe book. You need something, you can speak for things.
Hey, Viking.
There's certain logic to that.
Now, the last thing that
is it bad that I just had a mental image of Twiggy making the chewing gum of tongues?
I was trying to go for like a lollipop. You lick it.
I was thinking
like a sucker, and it lasts for 10 minutes. So it's like a Werther's Original, so you have to suck on it a long time, and then when it runs out, so does your ability to say it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
The other thing that could be a possibility is it'll take me. I mean, this is something that if we have downtime, I can do, but we can also spend some time, and I can create spell scrolls out of spells that I know. Now that could be something I can maybe, if Twiggy is able to put in her recipe book, then the more of us that know it, then the better. If it's something that we can't, then maybe we can sell it. It just will take me time to do so.
Good things take time. That's okay. For the now, for today, we get the language scroll. We start the selling of things. I keep filling orders for the Fountain View, and then maybe we fill some more orders for other people's. And that's for this week, I guess, yes?
Yep, I think we do Fountain View, then Adaya, and then No Lady, because I think she's going to follow us whether we want her to or not. And we probably are going to need to find a way to move her around that's not going to cause a problem. I don't know about you, but I don't think Knowles have a very high reputation here. I was actually surprised we did not get accosted at all while we were bringing her back.
I mean, to be fair, you were coming through areas you controlled at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Also fair.
DM question.
Yeah.
Would I know? I mean, would Cass know kind of about how much? I mean, he knows how much it would take to add a spell to his spell book. I'm assuming it would be rather common knowledge to know how much it would cost to make into a scroll, right?
Yes.
And I'm assuming we're using Xanathar's
Yes.
list. Okay. So
I was actually just looking that up right now.
I can send you a screenshot if you would like.
Perfect.
Because I already have it up. So the spells that I can currently do don't take me too long unless we reach the upper limits of my stuff. If we want just a very low magic thing, I can spend, if it's something I can do all the time, like I'll make a mage hand real quick. If it's something like this, or I'll cast light like this, that only costs me 15 gold to make in one day. Another thing like where I do my identifies or my my detect magics and stuff like that, that'll cost me only 25 gold and take me a day as well. So it's when I start getting into a little bit higher than that is when the gold price starts to go up, and the amount of days it's going to take me to actually make sure all the writing and the runes are correct. That's when things are going to get a little bit more difficult and take longer. The spells that the magic I am just kind of accessing at this point will take me up to a week and about 500 golds worth from what I estimate to make one spell scroll. But if I make it for 500 and they're selling for 800 to 900, there's a little bit of a profit margin there. But again, that's me sitting down and working on this.
There's a profit margin in anything that we are going to sell here, right, just for the sheer fact that everything costs more.
But once again,
more time, for lack of a better word.
Right. And once again, that takes up, if I'm using my biggest amount of connection with the weave, I mean, that's a week of me sitting here and doing nothing else besides eating, sleeping, and writing this scroll.
But we worry about that once we know whether or not there are people who will actually pay the prices. So we have to spend a little time finding out what it is people want, because it's great to have things that you can charge for very, very much. If nobody's willing to buy the things, even though in here they would cost very, very much, no point in making them.
Now,
I mean, that is fair.
Now, later on, as I kind of get a little bit more, as I start to understand things a little bit more, I believe I should be able to cut down on both the materials I need as well as the time it will take. Out of game, as I get level hires, I can actually do half time and half price to craft scrolls.
Cool.
But I need more levels before I get that.
And then he becomes a Xerox.
Just so you're aware, that is something I can work on, but again, that's a lot of just time. Whereas right now, I could almost mass produce identify scrolls, and maybe that becomes a
that
market
was so
of
close to being a
identifying
20.
everything. So, give me a minute.
Oh.
I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on writing up a formal letter of purchasing.
And
On that note.
just to jump back to the question I asked a minute ago there, Cass, you know anything that could help us move her around? Or at least not get her attacked on sight?
For what?
Lyra.
Lyra, Knoll, in the middle of a city that probably does not like Knolls because they keep raiding the city and stealing their people.
So, the only thing I will know is, depending on how long, I will take off a little pin. It's a little charm. Now this is something we got from the loot, but it can help disguise oneself 1 hour a day. Now that allows it to keep its magic. If we needed to, we can kind of expend all of the magic, and it will last for 6 hours. But then this becomes non-magical. So if this will help, and I'll hold it out. If this will help, then that helps.
Was that the dragon pin?
No, that's the mask or MASQUE.
Oh, mask. Yeah.
Mask.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
sorry,
mask.
mask charm.
Yeah.
So
For now, it's probably not a bad idea for her to have it, just in case we have guests.
okay, I'm gonna throw it to you, Luther, just because I can't trade with Lyra directly.
Right.
Wait till we can talk to her, and then you can tell her how to work it and stuff.
Right. I'll hold on to it until you get your,
That's fine.
your tongue all forked and stuff like that.
So
Womp womp.
give me just a minute. Let me write up a formal purchasing note, and so Cass will sit down and start writing. Ace will be right back.
I guess I should start getting all of the crap together that I'm going to try to sell.
Yes.
It's like.
So what is everybody else doing for their downtime time? We know that Adaya is going to have a conversation. We know that Twiggy is going to be working on making steed salads. But and Luther's going to be fencing. But anything else that anybody is trying to get done, just give me an idea for a couple things you want to try to be doing around the place.
Well, if Luther, are you planning on setting up an actual booth?
I don't know if I could set up an actual booth, but I was just going to go into the room that had that purple and red rug and just kind of drag that with me and drop it on the ground if I don't have a booth. And just kind of load the stuff down in front of me and sit.
Well, if you want a hand, I could be muscle, help you carry stuff.
I'm perfectly fine with it. I guess a second set of eyes just in case a little urchin shows up and you got to stab him. I do recommend just bonking.
Aren't you the little urchin?
He's no longer little.
Maybe once or twice, and that's why I said you recommend bonking him. I corrected myself.
Stab, bonk.
Stab, bonk, something like that. My hobbies are going to involve things like waking up screaming in the middle of the night, picking up random small objects and making them glow, and finding random materials or whatever's appropriate for whatever happened on my character card with which to make little pictures.
Okie doke.
seem really random looking stuff.
So Adaya has become toddler.
I mean, sort of.
Like, yeah, like, see a fast, like with little
Things
Yeah.
that have never caught her attention before because they never mattered.
right.
And even now they
I-
technically don't, but all of a sudden they do.
There's a little bit an element of that of figuring out what I can do.
Oh, Twiggy has a request. Maybe I'll even go see the blacksmith so I can get it made for him. But I want a dinner triangle to ring.
Okay.
What are my chances of there being that, or should I go see a dwarf about a dinner bell?
I mean,
I mean, any
if
of the
you want
bells
something
is
smith, the best way to get it done is to go to a blacksmith.
go to a blacksmith.
Yeah. Twiggy wants to go see a dwarf about a thing. Dinner bell. Ding, ding,
Wiggy,
ding,
are
ding.
you really
You're the
trying to
market
get a
maker.
triangle?
Yeah, big old dinner bell stuff. I'm used to running an entire mess hall. Y'all need to eat.
I mean, I understand, but we don't really need a triangle. We're all within yelling distance of the Twiggy.
Ding, 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 ding. No, the spoon does it on its own. It's stirring. Spoon misses a triangle. You're not gonna tell Spoon no, are you? You have to tell Spoon yourself.
You're going to lose this argument, Luther.
Luther's
Looking
already
at the
lost
maps
his
for things that
brains.
look like
It's okay. If Luther actually says this as he walks away.
literally looking at the map, see if I can find anything that looks the right size and made of metal. And hollow.
Right?
Dinner bell. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Things
Wow,
Luther
weird.
is focusing on while selling is just who is buying and like trying to see what gangs are selling things.
There is a
And
bell
any
on one of the
information.
tables. There's an actual hand bell on one of the tables in one of the rooms.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I see it. It's the one with pretzel.
So during the conversation, I walk over and grab the bell and walk back and hand it to Twiggy. Wordlessly.
Ting, 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 ting. It's not loud enough. Ting, ting.
I'm not trying to call the whole, east side over to us.
All right. So Twiggy wants to see the blacksmith. Cassidius wants to do magic research. Luther and Vanweth are going to be selling things. And Adaya is doing Adaya stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing new to this body stuff.
Since everyone else's stuff needs to wait for Luther, or needs to wait for Cassidius to read the information about the pricing, that means that we are going to start with Twiggy.
Okay.
And for that, we go to I'm not going to bother with trying to do the pulling somebody like setting up the scene, because then nobody else would be able to see it, so we'll just do it. But-
We've been to his shop before.
Yes.
We know it is crowded with many wonderfully crafted metal things. Luther and Vanwith are out. I gotta go see a blacksmith about a dinner bell. Do you want to come?
I'm sorry, were you just talking?
Yes.
Yes.
She asked if you wanted to come to see a blacksmith.
Where's Cass right now?
He's studying.
I look vaguely in the direction of whatever room he's studying in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're gonna stay with the Cassidys. Okay. All right, have fun. Justin, bird down. Okay, bye. So I will go get on Pickle and ride to the blacksmith shop.
Okay.
I am
Oh,
taking
what?
with. I don't have a lot of money or anything. I am, however, bringing one of my steed salads.
Okay. So you show up at Lorthar's shop.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is not during offhand, so he's in.
Yeah. Yeah, he's there working.
Okay.
Trying to remember what I did for his voice. Yes, so Twiggy, what brings you over?
Hello, it's I have a commission if you are open for some small commissions, yes.
Okay. What were you looking for?
I need a dinner bell. The big with the triangle. Dung, 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 dung.
I think I can handle that. They should be pretty easy to make. Do you have any particular material you wanted it made out of?
If you can make it not out of iron, that would be great.
All right.
Copper's pretty. Copper's okay, but not iron is great.
Copper we can do.
You got lots of the iron and the steels and the things. They're looking around for it.
So he goes back into his smithy and, like, in a matter of minutes, comes out with a roughly 2 feet per panel triangle. It is in fact hexed rod, which means it is 6-sided and spun so that the entire thing just like curls around the entire shape. And there is
That's some good resonance.
and on 2 of the 4 panels, 2 of the 6 panels with 2 blanks in between as it spirals around, there is an etching pattern which is similar to runes but isn't actually wording or letters. It's just
styled
design.
Passion going through it, like ooh.
Yeah. So he takes that, and he also brings a 1.5 long, 1.5 long striker with a leather wrap at the one end. The wrap has a loop so that it can be hooked onto the signal, and also the signal has a hang loop at the top. And he just takes it and just strikes it once, and it's like a perfect tuning fork pitch.
Oh, let me try. And like as he's holding it up, I'm just gonna take spoon and see if it gets the same thing for being struck with a wooden rather than the other metal part.
It is a similar pitch, but it doesn't resonate as long nor as clear.
Gotcha. Okay, the metal on the metal makes with the mixture because it goes twing.
Right.
Ah, very good. Yes, this is wonderful. I could have summoned 2 companies to dinner with this. This would have been amazing. But instead, I'm just going to hang it up in the Verdant house and then make sure that Cassidius has to get his nose out of a book every now and then and put something in his face to do the eatings.
Eating is important.
Eating is very important. Now, I don't have any of the monies. They don't trust Twiggies with the monies, but Twiggy has the salad.
Wait, this is that summon mount thing that you did?
Yeah. You heard what happened at the fountain, hey?
Oh, I've heard.
I'm looking out the window and there's pickles out the window.
Right. I've heard. I mean, I can't possibly charge you. Well, hold on a second. And he wanders into one of the back rooms.
You're giving him like 1,000 gold salad for something that's probably worth a couple of copper.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the reason why that one would have cost 50 copper is it took 20 to shape it.
Right. There was literally that much copper in it.
Yeah. So he comes back around, and he is carrying a folded suit of armor. He's like, now this one isn't my work because I'm not as good of a stonesmith as some of my brothers, but I was thinking since the last time you were here about how you seem to have a druidic aversion.
A tree.
So I was trying to think of what the best armor available would be for someone that doesn't like metal. And I remembered that in the tunnels in the dwarf homes that I come from, we have tunnel scouts. And the tunnel scouts hunt and clear rust monsters and umber hulks from the tunnels.
Oh.
And
no, the whole paladin, it had a three. Three went in, and there was a rust monster, and then they were naked.
yeah. So for obvious reasons, when you're hunting rust monsters and umber hulks, you kind of don't want to have metal armors. I mean, even magical metals will eventually break if hit enough times by a rust monster. So what we do in the clan holds is this, and he starts to unfold the armor so you can see it. It resembles breastplate armor, which is to say that there is a hard plate over the chest and on the forearms and the shin greaves. And the rest is made out of a supple leather.
Ooh.
You notice, though, that on this armor, I have it somewhere here because I made it and everything. You notice that on this armor, there isn't... well, first off, the armor itself is very neutral toned, so it's kind of like a dull gray-brown kind of color. A little bit more towards the brown than the gray, but also a little bit more towards the gray than the brown. It really depends on the lighting, because it's designed for concealment in caves.
Gotcha.
But the shoulder pauldrons, vambrace, greaves, and chest plate, rather than being made of metal, it is actually a very thin layer of carved malachite.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, like Twiggy will like take her hand, and it's the Minotaur gauntlets do in fact are fingerless things. So she's just running fingertips over, going, oh, ding, 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 ding.
So now, normally malachite isn't strong enough to make armor out of, but magical armor takes a lot more durability. So any of this that you can make magical is you can use for armor. I wouldn't wear it if it was just, rank and file normal stuff, but as long as it's been enchanted, it's okay. So this is a minor enchantment. It's only going to give a little bit of a boost, but it's enough to make sure that the armor itself can work. Also, I'm not a runesmith, so I'm not sure if it's the effect of the malachite itself or the enchanting the malachite, but malachite is often used to treat vertigo or depth confusion. So this armor is also very good for when fighting umber hulks because it gives you a bonus versus their confusing gaze.
It makes much sense with you going the up and the down and the left and the right, but there's no air and no sun, no nothing to say which is up.
So I'm going to say that thing that you gave me, we're just going to throw this in with the dinner bell and we'll just call it even.
Okay. Do you want to summon? Do you want to say hi? You see what you get?
I mean, we can do that now before you leave if you want.
Okay, I'm kind of curious as to what you would choose. Okay, so here you do. You hold the bowl and, well, maybe we should go outside.
Outside seems like a good idea.
Let me take him outside. Shh, Pickle, we're gonna see who he gets. You hold the bowl, and I fill it with. It's not so much greenery.
Out by Pickle?
Huh?
Is he not freaked out by Pickle?
He's just freaked out by Twiggy, and thus by extension, it doesn't look that different.
Just want to make sure.
Hey, I will fill the bread bowl that he has with less greenery, more oats. There are a couple.
Why do you have a mace on your character card? Was that by accident?
No, I think it was one of the things we were basing the dancing spoon off of, or something like that.
Oh.
Or one of the free things I got with one of my backgrounds or something.
Gotcha.
You can take it off. I never use it. I use the cleaver.
I need tenderizer.
You're not wrong.
You know what? Just for that, I'm leaving it on there now.
was gonna say it is a meat tenderizer. Just usually.
I mean, yeah.
The meat's got to be
Really what it
tenderized.
is.
Doesn't matter if it's still alive or dead.
All right.
So
So,
yeah,
so you now have on your character card a tunnel scout armor.
Yes. Okay, so but his bowl has more, and it's got some like sweet potato chunks and other things in there, things that are a little more tuberous for it. And
Okay.
then I take the vinaigrette drizzle and I pour it all on top, and then you simply put it out and you say enjoy, and it will just answer what's in the questions that come as your head.
Okay. And around the corner comes what you would normally consider to be somewhere between a pony and a donkey, except that it looks like the scaling is wrong because it's much wider at the shoulder and slightly shorter than you would normally expect for a pony. So it's like donkey sized, but like almost Clydesdale width.
It's a dwarven warhorse. Yeah.
If a bulldog was pony sized.
Yeah, that's imagine a donkey sized bulldog horse.
Wow.
And that's what shows up.
Oh, they're adorable. Yay! Oh, it's very good. Yes. Again, though, with the intensely green eyes.
Yes.
Green on green eyes.
The emerald green eyes. Yep.
Everyone's Picasso.
To everyone's but mine.
Camel.
The only
Okay.
exception
Okay, like very good. Yes. Okay. Thank you. This is very nice. Thank you so much. Okay. No more itchy scale mail. Yes.
Yeah, no more itchy scale mail.
All right, and with that, I will climb up on Pickles and wave fond farewell, and off I go back to the Verdant house.
Okay. Luther. Oh, wait.
Easter.
Actually, I shouldn't just say specifically Luther. While Twiggy is out, you hear the four of you that are at the base hear a knock at the door. Which is to say, knock, knock, knock.
Luther will go and check the door, look through the slot. Does he see anything?
Yes. You see. Do 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 do. Da 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 da.
Oh God.
Oh, lovely.
It wasn't me this time, guys.
They're not actually poking their pikes through the wall,
Right.
obviously, but
So I clearly see wall men on the other side of the door.
you clearly see wall men on the other side of the door.
All right. Before I actually do anything, like I look through the door, I turn, I look at Van, I step up to him and say, "Get her to one of the back rooms," and he points at the knoll, and then turns back around and starts talking to them through the door.
Okay.
If I see him start walking towards her, I go up towards her
Yeah.
and motion her to follow me.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And I take her to one of the secret. And
As-
myself.
as you guys are walking up to her to do all of this, she looks at the door, looks at you guys, looks at the door, makes a noise that you don't recognize. Her shield glows,
And she turns invisible.
and this happens.
Oh,
That works.
that works as well.
Problem solved.
Oh, okay.
So she now has it for an hour. Oh wait,
I
did
never,
we give her the
I
pin
never
yet?
gave her that item. She did that all on her onesie.
Wonderful, I can have that pin back.
Okay. I still look funny.
Adaya, you are the oddest looking of the group, but no one looks like a gnoll.
Is there somewhere I can be that I can still hear what's going on and likely not be visible?
Right, anywhere around a corner.
Literally right beside this door. Behind this door.
That door right over here. Literally this bench around the corner. Like you can just be anywhere that you want to be that just does not allow them to see you.
Can't leave the wall.
Right.
Something like probably the other.
I was going to say, maybe that side, because over here there is a window.
Yeah. Okay.
So now
also, why is there a window in the bathroom?
Ventilation.
Fair enough.
Now that he has sussed out the, potential problems of people, Luther has noted that they're wallmen and will open the door.
Okay.
And say, "Hi, can I help you?"
In the lead is Zaram Adayan.
Oh, it is actually Zaram. Okay.
Yeah. Zaram is in the front.
Okay. I would have a slightly different. I would have actually said, "Hello, Commander. How can I help you?"
He goes, "I don't want there to be any trouble, which is why I came here myself. However, Luther, I need you to come with us."
Oh, okay.
DM.
Yeah.
Detect thoughts on him. Surface, so he doesn't know I'm doing it at the moment.
He is really hoping he doesn't have to come to blows. And he's really expecting he's going to have to come to blows.
But is there anything drifting in that surface as to why he needs Luther?
Nope. He is doing the he is doing the reaction checklist in his head as to how to deal with each one of you when you do something that he can't deal with.
What is he thinking about me now that you've done this? How is he dealing with me?
He doesn't know. And that's part of the problem.
That's amazing. Okay. Cass's confidence has skyrocketed from this moment.
He feels good about himself now.
He will
confident Cass, what will he do?
He will DM Luther, and he can't tell why, but he thinks we're gonna fight him to keep you here.
Can I ask why?
You are a person of interest in a criminal activity that occurred in Eastgate last night.
Okay.
At what time?
Is Cass actually saying that out loud?
Yes, Cass will start to approach at this point. At what time?
You notice that he is getting more nervous. Even though
my detect thoughts are still going.
Yeah. I'm not going to try this case on your doorstep.
In his head, can I send a message real quick while he's doing this?
Yes.
Are you in his head? And I will direct eye contact because he'll know it's my voice. Direct eye contact to him. Are you being forced to do this by someone more powerful than you?
Okay. As that's coming through, he just goes, I'm not going to try this case on your doorstep. I am asking you out to Luther out of respect for what you've done recently in town to come with me quietly. If you say no, you're coming with me.
Right. I remember this game.
Does he shake his head, nod anything?
Nope.
All right. Luther turns around and looks at Van, and he says, "Give me a little bit. I'll be right back."
Does Luther have a backpack?
Luther does. He actually, that was one of the things I was about to do, is Luther was going to be dropping everything.
Oh,
except
dropping
for,
everything.
Yeah, he's dropping, the only things he's not dropping is going to be his original buckler and his original sword. Like,
Right,
the magic stuff is staying, for lack of a better word, here. But he's not going to go somewhere for no reason what he considers no reason without his armor and his weapons at least, but he's not, like, he doesn't have them in hand. They're locked.
Okay, so I have a quick question, because this, if it is something, it's probably something Luther and Cass have done before. Luther, do you have like a bigger cloak on?
Luther, I
Like,
do not.
would you have any place where you like have to lift it up to be able to reach anything?
Not really with the current armor. Like, he might normally have worn like cloaks and stuff like that, but for like when he switched to this armor, he doesn't have any.
Well, this coat of armor does have that long cowl that seems like feathers. That was part of its description.
Yeah,
Okay.
Is there enough room for Echo to hide in it?
no.
All right, then I can't do anything.
It's fine. I'll be back. Trust me.
Do you want me to follow you in head? I'll do like this if I'm talking in head.
Luther is just shaking his head like
Yeah,
he's
I
annoyed
picked
with
that
the
up.
situation.
I picked that up.
And he'll go with Zaram.
Okay. And we're going to stop there. Yay!
No!
Yay! Okay, so if everybody is in chat, hang around because we got one more of these coming. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please be a good, like and throat. Please be a good werewolf. Like and subscribe. So, thank you very much. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. On behalf of our players, Lost Without a Trace, Scorched Ace 97, Ari Cypress Everly, Greymane Gaming, and More Than 56. If you are watching this on YouTube, you're going to have to wait till next week. If you're sitting here on Twitch, you're going to know what's coming up immediately next. So thank you, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the show. Please like, please subscribe, please tell your friends, and we will see you next time. Bye.